United States. And it symbolized for the solidarity, dignity, and all other justices, and the good things about the Civil War for the United States. And if you are interested in knowing about the economics or finance, everybody knows this place. That is the Wall Street. Okay, everybody understand that Wall Street are very important leaders globally, right, in terms of finance and economics. And the people working in any companies in the Wall Street, they are easily, invited and offered the job in other finance companies all over the world. So by giving you different examples from different aspects of life, from education, from necessities, food and drink, pharmacy, medical, movies, sport, technology, economics, and other cultural values. So US remain the top, the best for everything. Okay, that's about generally about the US, but how about and of course, the people go to study US, mostly international students, the normal people, right? But I'm now going to share with you some interesting news about the top secretary or the top leaders or governors or presidents, to be honest, in the world go and study and took the second or even the third degrees in United States. And for some partners of Shorelight, we have a lot of alumni who are now or worse the presidents from other countries like Costa Rica, Colombia, Congo, Pakistan, and a lot of other countries in the world. But recently, we know that in US, after the Brexit, right, and the very first Hindu prime minister from UK, that's Sunak, Rishi Sunak. He's from UK. He got a second degree from Stanford University, where he met his wife. All right. So that's the alumni from Stanford University from US. Okay. In the Southeast Asia, the country Lee Hsien Loong, he's a son of the founding father Lee Kuan Yew. He passed, of course, already, but now he got the second degree from Harvard University. Okay. This guy is very famous one also. He was the prime minister from Japan, but unfortunately he was assassinated by one man in Japan years ago, Mr. Abe. Okay, he's also got a second degree in public administration from University of Southern California in USA. The neighboring countries, and everybody knows about Canada and, Justin Trudeau, but not many people know that his father, he also was the alumni from Harvard University and taking the second degree. So yeah, in the neighboring country, they also went to study in US and take the very good degree. I'm giving you these countries because it's the same level for everything, for you to know not only the normal international student, but also the very VVIP, the presidents, the chairman, the prime minister from other countries, the top countries also went and took the degrees in the United States. And not only them, but also the other countries, right? So if you go on the Google and you search like with the keywords like secretary or governmental or governor took the secondary United States, and it will show you hundreds of the results. Okay, so you can see many other family names from other countries. Okay, so that's why once again reconfirm about the education from United States. Not only for normal people, international students, but also for the top leaders, the top people from other countries. All right, US never close. US always welcome international students. As you may know, during the COVID-19 for 2 years, a lot of countries, they closed the borders. They did not, welcome international students, but USA is the only country, was the only country in the world welcome the international student go and study despite the COVID-19. So these statistics taken from 2020, just during the COVID-19, but I'm pretty sure that the number will keep increasing, okay? So from 2020, the international student from or to US is more than 1 million, whereas the United Kingdom and Canada, number 2 and number 3 in the orders, and Australia. So we are nearly, double or even triple comparing with the next destination for international students. And after COVID, of course, the number of international students were even more than 1 million, okay? This will show you about how the people think about or see the ranking in the United States. So normally, if you already know in Australia or UK or Canada, the people normally refer to the ranking tables to make the decision to study in those countries. And mostly the students go for top 20, top 50 or top 10 because of the very modest numbers from these countries. So you can easily make the decision, or the student can easily to find or research information. But from United States, the story is different. Why? Because in the US, we have more than 4,000 universities and colleges. So if you are accepted to top 200 ranked university in US, you are accepted to top 6% of the best education in US. Similarly, in UK, if you want to go to top 6% of the best education or the best universities in UK, you must go to top 10. In Canada, you must go to top 6, equivalent to top 6% of the best education in Canada, because in Canada, we have less than 100 universities. And Australia, the number of universities less, only 43 universities. So if you want to go to top 6% of the best education in Australia, you must go to top 3. Okay, so having said that, if you are accepted or the student are accepted to top 200 university, they must be happy. They should be happy, to be honest. Okay, and talking generally about education in USA, I'm going to give you the comparison between Australia and UK in the 3-year education system together with 4-year education system in US. The thing is, like, we put the student at the heart of everything, okay? The student success are the main or the key things, the core values from US education nature. So we give the student the first 2 years to try everything they want to know, all right? And they are curious to know, not mentioning about the student must be good at it. Not yet, okay? But I give you the time to try. So after the first 2 years, the student will finalize the degree, or we call the student declare the major in the last 2 years. So by giving the student the trial time for the first 2 years, we minimize the number of students get failures from the degrees. Because after year 2, you already know what you can do well, you do better, and what you can do the best. So you get a very little risk failing from universities, okay? But from UK and Australia, the thing is, like, maybe the degree duration time may be faster, 3 years. But what happened after the first year or the year 2, you find out that, oh, computer science is very difficult, very challenging. I cannot, study more. I cannot get GPA 2.0, the passing grade. Okay, even the passing grade is very challenging for you. You cannot go on, because in UK and Australia, they design the program. Once you get in, you have to go by the end of the journey, right? During the journey, if you find something challenging, you have to, you have to suffer, or you have to get over by yourself. You cannot start over again. Okay, so that's the disadvantages of UK and Australia education systems. Once you chose the degree, you cannot start over, right? Although it will come by the end of the day, that is a wrong choice. And with the student coming to the university the first year, most of them are 16 or 17. And if you expect the student with a young age to make the important decisions, in their life to study and to do what is sometimes very difficult for them to make decision. Okay, so in US, in this you know, this kind of approach is much better, and we allow the student to change or switch from this major to other major after year 2. So for example, for the first 2 years, if you are interested in a business, but after the year 2, sophomore year, you think like computer science give you more opportunities and you perform better in the courses of the computer science, you can change to computer science. Okay, and you will not waste any of time and effort you spend in the first 2 years. So that's the key thing, right? You never waste of your time. For transfer process, I think we accept and we encourage the student from UK and Australia. But given the situation now in Myanmar, the student, you know, they have a lot of difficulties in having the official transcripts. So we don't recommend the student without the official transcript to apply as the transfer student, because by the end of the day, the university will ask you to submit the official transcript. And if you don't have that, your application will be, you know, frozen and cannot, we cannot continue. All right, so you get stuck there forever. So as long as you are confident that, or you are holding the official transcript, you can apply for transfer student. Otherwise, you should apply, you start over again, another UG degree in the United States. That's better for you, and that's a practical. Okay, and mostly the student with the academic setting, not vocational. For example, some students study about a hair salon, or you know, the makeup of things like vocational is not considered to be the transfer student. Okay, but the student with the diploma, the UG year 1, year 2 in other countries outside US can go to study or continue to study in US as transfer student. All right. This one to show you, normally the student after year 1 in other countries, they can go and study technically year 1 or year 2, depending on the degree or depending on the credits you were taking from previous education institutions. Okay, but for the US, we are the credit-based systems. So as long as you accumulate up to 120 credits, you will be eligible to graduate with a degree in the United States, right? So no matter what you study, as long as it's academic credits, you can transfer and you can save your time. All right. Okay, we also accept some students transferring from community college, but I don't strongly recommend them to apply, because from community college, the student can, you know, find very difficult to cope with the new environment. And from the university, the thing is like more difficult than given in the community college. So yeah, but you know, from university to university is easier, but from community college, you must make bigger effort to be successful in universities. All right, so very interesting things about the people know about the Ivy League, right? So actually, the Ivy League is a group of consisting of 8 members, founding members, and they are also the founding member for AAU, American Association Universities. All right, so they have the U.S. education system to visualize or to define themselves in the global ranking for the education qualities. So they are, yeah, obviously, as you can see on the screen, Harvard University, Columbia University, Brown University, Princeton University, Yale, Cornell, Penn, or Dartmouth College, right? So those are the Ivy League. Harvard was first established 1636, followed by Yale and Penn, UPenn, Princeton University and Columbia University, Brown University, Dartmouth, 1769, and Cornell. And you know, Cornell is the original inspiration for the people to establish or to found the Stanford University in California. Okay, very interesting. Okay, and I give you the comparison between the private university and public university. Mostly, they are both good, okay, equally good. But for those who are very confident with the independent skill, and they have some limit in the budget, all right, so they can go to the public universities. Because in public university, the tuition, the cost for everything can be cheaper, but sometimes you should be independent in, you know, how to say, familiarize yourself with the new environment, because the public university is mostly very big community. So if you kind of like, you don't have international experience before, it's kind of difficult for you to adapt with the new environment. Okay. However, vice versa, with the public, with the private university, if you don't have international experience, but the budget allow you better comparing with the public university, you can go to the private university, because in private university, we offer more services for you. Whenever you have difficulties and you need the support, we are there to help you. All right, so you don't need to get in line. You don't need to book long beforehand to get the service, because we're there to help you. But however, the cost is higher than public universities. Okay, but for the outcome, I think the public somehow a little bit better, because one of the criteria for the private universities, like they have to find out the network, or they have to care about the student employment outcome for the student when you graduate. It means right the day one when you study in the private university, the university try to design the program very practical, and they have to connect you with the companies in the industry. And then by year one, year two, or when you graduate, you already have you know, certain amount or certain number of connection in your industry. So we help you easily to find a job. All right, and practically is like the people say that studying in private university is very expensive, but however, let me tell you, in US, all right, in US there is a very famous saying that there's no free lunch. All right, so you get what you, okay. For example, Louisiana State University or Auburn University, they are, even though the public universities, but they invested a lot in the infrastructure or facility for the student when they study here. So those are in the screen, as you can see, the stadium and the sport complex on the campus for the student to you know, to enjoy. Okay, so that's the NCAA Division 1. It means the student pay very reasonable costs to study here, but what they use are they are from Olympic standard facility, sports facility, not mentioning about the other academic settings or academic environments. Okay. US never promised, you know, US never promises about immigration. However, we have, everybody know, the very famous technical term, American dreams. Okay. I've been working for the US for 15 years now, and I got, you know, chances to meet a lot of students, the parents, and they asked me a lot of questions related to discrimination. Okay. But let me ask you, the people, when they mention about in US, very discrimination, can I ask a question? You know who else outside United States have the first Black president? The president, the ex-president Barack Obama, he was the first Black American president. So if in US, we are suffering from discrimination, so I suppose that the ex-president Barack Obama, he could never win in the presidential election to become the you know, the first Black American president. Okay, so yeah, I think the discrimination may be everywhere, But in USA, everybody have to work and stay in compliance with the law. So everybody have to, adapt themselves to the new environment. Okay. So in US, the opportunity and chances are very equal and fair to everyone. As long as you have your talent, you have the right attitude, they have the right approach, and somehow you are hardworking, you have chance in United States. And especially in US now, we are very encouraging the international student to study about the STEM fields because we are in the southeast of the STEM field labor force. So with this provision by in the next 10 years, so if we don't increase the number of students studying the STEMs, we will be, in the southeast about 10 million of jobs in the STEM fields. Okay, so if you're looking for the job after the undergrad degree or even the PG, the postgrad degree, you should study something about the STEM. Non-STEM, for example, business also have the opportunity for you to stay in US, but it's up to 12 months, not 36 months for the STEM. Okay, so we said it very clearly for everybody from beginning for you to know. So depending on your plan, you want to stay in US and work for US company, or you work in US, you should study something about the STEM, or otherwise you can study about the non-STEM, let's say the business one. And, for the top 100, the best or the biggest companies in the world, 54 are from United States. And 54 of these companies, we contribute about 70% of the growth in the market capitalizations. All right. So we contribute about 3/4, all right, 70% of the global or the world capitalization. All right. So we have owned the top leading branches or the brands from own fields of, industries. Okay, so we are talking, or we are now applying on working with the top companies to promote for US universities, right? We are now the leading companies to promote for our partners in United States. And as you can see on the screen, we divide into left-hand side and right-hand side. All right. So on your right is American, it's a signature universities where we have a lot of scholarships, and we have the people based on the campus to support the student right from day one. Okay, and the student get more services and more support for your success in US. The left-hand side are the member university. We don't strongly recommend you to apply for this member university. It doesn't mean like it's not good. They are very good, but we don't have the staff on the campus to support you. However, if you tell me like Mitterloch, I have, let's say, my aunt living next door with the Austin College or with the Southwestern University in Texas, I must go there. Okay, yeah, so you can apply. Or otherwise, I strongly recommend you to prioritize the signature university on your right-hand side, because we can ask and work directly and very quick turnaround time for scholarship information for you. All right, so here today, we are now having more than nearly 20 signature universities from the East Coast, from your right-hand side, to the West Coast, to your left-hand side. And we are having the partners, the top partners in the big cities, big location. I mean, like everybody, when I mention the names of the cities or the states, the people already know. For example, we have the UIC in Chicago, right in the downtown. We have University of Pacific in California, in Stockton near San Francisco. We have UMass Boston in Boston City. Everybody know about Boston, right? In Massachusetts State. We have Adelphi University in Garden City in New York, only 40 minutes from Times Square. Okay. And we have FIU in Miami, okay, in Florida. So I just mentioned about the big city because I feel like the people seems familiar more with the big location in Myanmar. However, if location is not the key thing for you to make decision, you can more different categories like degree or employment outcome or the budget option. We still offer, you know, very good option for you. For example, if you don't have much money, you can consider about University of Dayton, right? Because University of Dayton now this year offering 30,000 scholarship every year. Okay, so you spend a lot of money, and together with the part-time job availability on the campus, you can have part-time job right from day one, and you can save a lot of money, and you pay everything. You pay everything around 33,000. Okay, and the ranking of University of Dayton is 127. So that's the top option for the low budget student this year. Cleveland State University is similar, but Cleveland State University is a compulsory for the student to stay on campus. So they pay higher. Okay, so low budget University of Dayton. Good ranked university and great location, you can consider University of Illinois Chicago UIC or UOP or UMass Boston, Adelphi in New York, or in Florida in Miami FIU. Okay, FIU also very reasonable and very affordable option for you too. For this member university, if you are interested in, you can search for the location mostly, when you have relatives or friends, or we have you have your own reason to go there and study. Okay, so we are the richest portfolio, so we'd like to categorize different types of the option for the student. Big city, as I mentioned, in Washington State, in Chicago, in California, in UMass Boston, in DC, in New York, we have the options. For top 100 university, we have Tulane University, but for PG only. Gonzaga University in Washington, American University in the DC, Auburn in Alabama, the University of Tim Cook, you know, the CEO Apple, and UIC in Chicago, in Illinois, ranked 97. For the low course this year, we have CSU, Cleveland State University, FIU, or Dayton this year. All right, and this is another ranking for your reference later, but I think different people would have different types of demanding or requirements. So you should contact EEVS or my colleagues, Makiat or Majot in Myanmar. She's based in Yangon. She will be very helpful and very supportive to you, and she's speaking Burmese, and I think that helps you or some parents if they feel more comfortable talking in your local language. Okay, and we offer, you know, rather than the besides the education quality, we offer different other services, from visa support, from mock interview, personalized academic support, or non-academic advising services. We offer free airport pickup, except UMass Boston, because UMass Boston location very near the airport. It's just 50 minutes from the airport, very near. For the housing, we need to check with the university, because some university allow you to live off campus. Some require you to stay on campus at least the first 2 years. All right. And for job outcomes, as I said, the private university prepare you better, because we put the focus on that, because the private university is a company and you are the customers, right? You must be happy, and then we have business later. So we care very much about the employment outcome for the students. All right. So we offer CIP program, Career Accelerator program, for free. And also the student can have a lot of access to other programs currently available on the campus for every students, internship, co-op program, OPT, CPT. We are there to help you. So you just let us know what is your problem, what you want, and we're there to help you on the way. Scholarship, very important this year. So different universities, they have different scholarship policies. Some universities offer 4-year renewable with a GPA 3.0. You have to maintain GPA 3.0 to get the scholarship the year after, okay? But some other university offer the first year only. Okay, so for the 4-year renewable scholarship, we have University of Dayton, UOP, Adelphi, UIC, Gonzaga, Utah, UMass Boston, and Cleveland State Universities. For year 1 only, we have USC, South Carolina, Louisiana State University, Auburn University, FIU, and American University in the DC. Okay, and we require the student with high GPA and the scholarship interview for the scholarship, but we understand the situation now in Myanmar. So I'll try my best to ask for as much scholarship as I can ask for as possible. All right. And I think like it takes like 1 week for everything. If you put application early, you still have enough of time to apply for the fall 2023. And sometimes we are now checking with the US Embassy globally, and there's a big chance for the US Embassy in Yangon. They open more slots like they did months ago. Okay, so you are recommended, encouraged to put application as soon as you can for this fall. In some scenario, in the worst scenario, if we cannot have the visa slot for you for the interview, so you can defer for the spring, and then you can keep the scholarship for the spring. But you should apply as soon as you can, okay? All right, so this one more admission about the how to apply the procedure, application procedure. Mostly the EEVS people, they are very experienced and they will be able to help you out on the way to make sure like we offer very smooth application procedure for you. All right, so I think that's enough from me, from Shorelight from US. I hope that the information session today is very useful for you, and I'm here to answer as many questions as you may have. Thank you so much for your attention. Over to you, the people from EEVS. Thank you so much. George, you want to say something? Or you want to be the next MC?
No, I'm just here like to answer like if they have some questions in our local language. So I'm here to support you.
Yeah, we're all here to help you. Okay, let me check in the chat box. There will be some. Yes, so Boni Tin Carb. So I'm sorry if I'm misspelling your name, all right? But yeah. I mentioned about 30,000 scholarship for University of Dayton. I mentioned. General requirement is like, yeah, as you can see now, requirement GPA minimum 3.0 in the US education system. In US education system is numeric, the grading scale, okay? So we accept the IGCSE student to go straight to year 1. Can people there mute someone audience when I'm sharing the important information? Okay, so let me restate about my information, okay? So we accept the GPA 3.0 in the US 4.0 numeric scaling system. However, I understand in Myanmar, a lot of students completed the IGCSE. So we accept IGCSE to the year 1. Okay. No, we don't require the A level except 2 universities, that's USC, South Carolina, and American universities. The other university accepts IGCSE to go straight to year 1 in US. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Lok. So guys, please ask if you have any question related to any of this university, University of Dayton, Adelphi University, University of the Pacific, or Gonzaga University, any university. You can ask question related to admission, you can ask question related to scholarships, you can ask question related to when is the deadline, etc., you know. So feel free to ask. You can type it in the chat box, or you can ask directly via voice message, either in English or Burmese as well.
Thank you. And I got a very good question here. Which state is the cheaper option to study and working? Let me tell you, Ohio, right? Cleveland State University or Dayton. Ohio is a power plant for all the U.S. society in the labor force, providing. So if you're looking for the affordable option and the outcome, Dayton is good. As I mentioned also, Dayton offers 30,000 scholarship for every year for the UG. For the PG, they don't have the scholarship because the tuition for the PG is very, very cheap. Okay, so Gary Chen, I addresses the question, which state is the cheaper option for studying and working? That's Ohio. Okay. And Stephen, he asked a question from his iPhone. Which signature university would you like to recommend for studying Master of Engineering Management? Do you have any scholarship for master degree? I think for the master, we don't have many scholarship. And even like the scholarship we may have, it's not that much. Okay. So for the master, the PG degree, if you want to study in US, normally you should be financially supported with your family, or you have money, around 30,000 per year. All right, 30,000 per year, including everything. So Master of Engineering Management, Master of Engineering Management, I think you can check it out in CSU, okay, Dayton maybe, Gonzaga University, all right. Those are these universities offer very good and high rank degree in Master, engineering. But engineering management, because we have hundreds of degrees, so we need to check on YouTube. All right, if you don't mind. But later after today, if you have specific requests, all right, contact my colleagues, George, or the people from EVS to support you. Okay, next question. I'm receiving recommend consider also the recommendation. All right, so I think University Dayton. All right, you see my mouse moving now. University of Dayton. Okay, so this one offering 30,000 every year. After the scholarship, you pay only 17,000 for tuition, and it's ranked 127 in US. As I mentioned, as you still remember the slide with the ranking comparison between countries. Okay, the students should be happy if they are accepted. Okay, so feel free to
I think his internet connection is stable.
Do you have any other question? You can turn on your microphone to ask in your local language. It's okay, no problem, all right? Or you can type in the English for the question. All right. My parent, I don't think you prepare for your study, just go to work financially, your family. You know, the cheapest one.
Hello.
So,
It's the same issue. Canal, no? Internet over canary symmetry to outline.
can I continue?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think you can continue now.
Yeah, you cannot, and you should not go to study in US without any financial support from your family or parents. If you have money already for the PG student, you should show. And we need the evidence to issue the I-20. The university in US cannot issue the I-20 without, you know, giving or being provided with your financial evidence. Okay, so you should have 30,000 at least. Okay, at least for the visa or for the I-20 issue. And then given the situation now in Myanmar, if you go to the embassy for the visa interview, and you can evidence or supplement.
Hello.
Wow, အဲ့ဆိုရင်မေးစရာမေးခွန်းများရှိသေးလားမသိဘူးเนาะဟိုသူ internet connection ကလည်းနည်းဟို stable မဖြစ်တော့လေ
Media make only Shija de Labia.
Okay, guys, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know, but the internet connection was really bad. All right, so as I advised, you should not go to study embassy in Yangon. They may ask for that. And if you don't, my job in Yangon or support you in the
I think we should take over the Q&A session.
Yeah, sure. So let's go ahead. So I think, hi guys, that's all for today. And if you have any question related to any of these Shorelight University, there's more than 30,000 scholarship per year. So scholarship so there are more than there's like a lot of top universities that you can apply through Shorelight. So if you have any questions related to all this university, I will just leave my number here. You can reach out to me via my Bible, or you can call me directly as well. So thank you so much for attending today's webinar. So I look forward to receiving inquiries from you. Thank you once again. And thank you, Locke, and thank you, Macho, for your time today.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
good time. Goodbye, everybody.
Everyone, bye. Take care.